Greetings, Hempster. This is your host, Tyler Hemp, otherwise known as Tyler Hoff, here to HempAware your hemposphere as usual. And I want to welcome you to another hemp episode of HempAware Radio. And today I have a fellow hemp marketer known as Jackie Smith with iHemp Marketing. And we're going to share some what I believe to be golden or green nuggets with you on some ways that you can improve your search engine optimization and how that can kind of fit into your overall marketing strategy for your hemp or cannabis brand. And so I just got to ask you, are you struggling to get traffic and leads and sales enough to the point where you feel like you're flooded with more than enough business? Well, if you're not, then that's exactly what we're going to cover today. And we know that the future of this planet depends on humans changing our ways. And we believe that hemp is one of the most powerful tools for creating that change that we want to see in the world. And so if you haven't already received your complimentary hemp marketing audits, just go to HempAware.com and you can request one for free today so that we can help you accelerate your growth and get in front of those customers that would like to purchase your product so that we can experience this paradigm shift in the world that we all want to see with hemp. And so my guest today, Jackie Smith, is a SEO marketing specialist and the founder of iHemp Marketing, which is a digital marketing agency dedicated to helping businesses in the cutting edge industries of industrial hemp, regenerative agriculture, and biochar, which we'll get into a little bit more today. And with a strong agricultural background and a passion for sustainable practices, Jackie combines her extensive knowledge with the power of SEO and integrating strategies to boost her clients' visibility, getting them leads, and ultimately more sales. Because if we don't have any wind in our sails, we're not going to go anywhere. So, known for her expertise in Google Analytics, keyword research, technical SEO, Jackie has a proven track record on helping eco-friendly businesses grow and make a significant impact. So today she joins me to share her insights and tips and hopefully help you integrate some of these ideas into your business on helping you grow and get more traffic. So without further ado, thank you so much for joining me, Jackie. What's hempening?
Well, I am excited about this. This is fun, and I've been doing so much in ag, and I come to hemp from ag, and so I think probably my background gives me a little bit different lens on how to look at where hemp is going and perhaps how we can get there.
Awesome. Yeah. So to kind of dive a little bit more into your background and where you come from, I know you have a major green thumb, as they say. What's kind of the trail that led you up to wanting to even work with hemp in the first place, and a little bit about your background?
Well, I'm a serial entrepreneur. I've had a lot of businesses, and most of them I've been playing in the dirt. And so I've been a personal gardener. I think pulling weeds, that's what I did for a living. People pay for that. And I've been an organic farmer, sold produce at farmers market, and had a permaculture homestead. And all throughout all the things that I've done, I've found that you have to market yourself to people. And so I was a marketer way before I knew anything about marketing. And I came to industrial hemp by way of regenerative ag as a crop for awesome crop rotations. So it's all, for me, it started out as a great place to amend your soil. So that's where my company, Three Pillars Marketing, it's all about hemp, and it's about the planet and people and combining lots of different things because everything is connected.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I know you initially had iHemp Marketing, and so your new brand is Three Pillars Marketing, people, planet, profits being the three pillars in that order that you say. And so I appreciate that. You have a green thumb. You're really dedicated to the agricultural world. And like you said, bring a nice, fresh, new angle to help other agricultural type companies and hemp companies and biochar companies to get seen and market their products. And I was taught many years ago that the word marketing means to find a need and fulfill it. And so I feel like SEO is one of those crucial things in the hemp world, maybe not so much in biochar and agriculture, being that there's a lot more regulations around paid ads as it relates to hemp. So SEO is, I think, a foundational tool to generate ongoing traffic. So I'm excited to kind of share some of your insights and why you feel SEO particularly is, so important for businesses in the hemp and regenerative ag world. If you could maybe just share like what your perception is around SEO and how this fits into the overall marketing strategy for any business in this world.
Well, for those who don't know, SEO stands for search engine optimization. And that just means the bots that are crawling around the website can find you. But it also when you optimize for SEO, you also are creating a great user experience on your website because you're making it clear what you're doing, who you're doing it for, and what you're doing and why. You're hitting all those who, what, when, where's, and whys. And that's crucial. And so that's the beginning of what SEO is. That's not the technical piece, but that is the foundation.
Right. So it's the idea of getting found online and being able to be found by the people that are searching for your things, but then to also tell the search bots what you're about, what you do, who you do it for, so that when the right customer is looking for your product, you end up showing up in the search results, right?
Yes, that's right. Yes. And in order to do that, you have to do quite a bit of market research because you have to know what people are typing into their computers. It does, and the language that we use may not be the language they're using. So if they're looking for cannabis, they may be typing in cannabis. They may be typing in weed. They may be typing in hemp. So you can find out that information, and those are called keywords, and those are things that you have to know in order to be seen by humans or bots, either one.
Absolutely. So when it comes to search engine optimization, SEO, we talked about keyword research and market research. What other strategies that you can kind of recommend that people look into, or what's kind of the workflow if somebody wants to maybe start doing their own keyword research or hire someone like yourself to help them with keyword research? What's sort of the pillars of SEO when you deploy any campaign?
Well, first of all, you have to know who your market is. So first thing you have to know that one person that you're going to market to. You're not marketing to a ton of people. If so, you won't be successful. So you have to market to a person. So you have to figure out who that persona is. And that's can be fun because now it's like you are talking to your neighbor or your best friend or your grandma, whoever it is, but you are talking to a person. Now you can picture them and now you can really do something. And then after you get that, you find out where they hang out. Do they hang out on, if it's your neighbor, do they hang out on TikTok or do they hang out on Facebook? And if they do, well, that's a channel of communication because marketing is just communication. That's all it is. And so the more we talk a person's language, speak their language, and show up where they are, then we communicate.
Mm-hmm.
And then after those two things, then you start doing the technical pieces of SEO. But the technical nothing counts until you know who you're talking to.
Mm-hmm. That makes sense. So really understanding not so much what, but who is the foundation. who they are, where they're hanging out, what their interests are, what their desires, hopes, and dreams, what their challenges are, their pains, what keeps them up at night, so that you can craft a message to communicate, as you said, to them within whatever channel they're on. So persona, getting your target market right, understanding who, and then the what comes after that. And then, like you said, getting into more of the technical stuff, which we may or may not cover today, but what are some of the most common mistakes that hemp or agricultural or biochar businesses make when they approach SEO?
Well, I think one of the biggest mistakes is we talk about ourselves. We don't talk about what the problem is that the person reading that has. So first of all, we have to remember it's not about us, it's about them. And it's about their problem and the solution we have. Now, most people have never thought of our solution, and so they're not looking for it. So one of the key strategies, I think, for an emerging industry like these is to talk about the other guy's solutions. Because, I mean, General Mills has a great solution for a grain, a cereal, a nutritious cereal, but hemp hearts are out there too. But people aren't looking for hemp hearts. But you can talk about what General Mills is doing, and then you can talk about, oh, but there's also hemp hearts over here. And I don't think most people think about doing that.
That's really insightful. So first and foremost, stop talking about yourself so much. People don't care about you as much as they care about themselves. Everyone's thinking about what's in it for me and how is this going to benefit me. So that's the first step, is shift your languaging to speak more about the customer, more about their journey and how you can help them accomplish their goals with your product as the solution. And then secondarily, figuring out what they're searching for that is not directly related to your product, but maybe a solution they're searching for that's indirect, so that you can kind of siphon that traffic or siphon those people that are searching for those things into your solution.
Yes. And that's cool. when you're the little guy, that's the way to siphon off some of that market share from the big guy. You have to introduce people to the fact that there even is a different solution than what they've always been using.
Right. Makes sense. Yeah. I mean, people don't know what they don't know. So once you present them an alternative, that's just opening the door to raise their awareness and bring them into your world and indoctrinate them into this alternative solution that may help meet many other needs that they didn't even realize they needed help with, including not supporting the big box corporations and GMOs and monocropping and all of the things that maybe General Mills is contributing to. By going with hemp, you're supporting local, you're working with sustainable regenerative agriculture, and maybe adding so much more benefit to your life and the environment by making that choice, right?
Right. Yeah. And that means that now you start using technical SEO when you get to that spot, because now you're beginning to go, okay, now I'm going up against the other guy, and that has the big market share. So you have to start thinking like a chess game, like 3 steps ahead. So if I do this now, how is that going to affect 3 months down the road? So you start thinking about campaigns, and you start with awareness, and just keep moving the person through that whole journey to finally find your product in the store or online.
So to go a little deeper into this technical side of things, what role does technical SEO have in improving rankings? Like what are some of the, like just a few examples of things that people would need to look at when it comes to technical stuff on their website to get ranked?
Well, first of all, you have to, on your title, you have to say what you do. So if you are if you are an industrial hemp company, it should say what your problem solution is in your headline. It shouldn't say we are about industrial hemp, because that doesn't answer anybody's question. That first line on your website, it's called an H1, has to answer somebody's question. And then the second thing that people don't do, and it's the easy fix, is to put SEO optimized tags on all your images, because your images can rank quicker than your web page.
Okay. So going into every single image on your website and adding in the alt tag, otherwise known as the alternative tag, which basically tells the bots, the little search bots that are going through your site, here's what this image is about, because the bots, at least as of yet, don't know what that picture is. And so when they have a little description below it or the alt tag, you're basically saying what this picture is about. So it's easier to get pictures ranked than maybe a whole page, you're saying?
Yes. But the thing of it is they have to be SEO optimized. That text can't say our logo or the logo of such and such a name, because that's not answering a question. So it has, whatever your image is, has to optimize to answer a question.
Okay.
That's how it ranks. That's how it ranks. It doesn't rank just because you got something in there.
Right. You need to be strategic about it, and probably even include the keyword that whatever page that image is on, you probably want to include the keyword in the image alt tag for whatever you want that page to be ranking for. Would you agree?
Yes, I would agree with that. Yes.
Cool. So how would you say user engagement, when people are coming to your site, they're maybe there for the first time or coming back for a third or fourth or fifth time, how would you say user engagement impacts SEO rankings, and what are some effective ways to increase the engagement when somebody does come to your website?
Well, the longer a person stays on your website, the more Google loves you. So you will rank. And so in order to get someone to stay on your website a while, you have to give them valuable content, because the content is critical. And so and you have to be updating that content regularly, because if someone is coming to your site every month or so, you have to have something more to give them, something more that for them to feel like you are educating them or entertaining them or giving them something. And so, and the longer you're on a page, the higher you're going to rank.
Cool. So it makes sense that Google looks at the engagement. If they do a search on Google search engine, they land on the search engine results page, they click on a link that goes right to your website. If you land there and then within 3 seconds you're gone, Google will probably use that as an indicator that your website was not helpful, and therefore we should probably not show you in the search results as often, because people going to your site, or what's referred to as bouncing, right, are just not getting the information they needed, or it wasn't helpful. So providing as much content, as much value, and probably creating a journey for people to go on, giving them action steps to keep them on the page as long as possible, or on the website as long as possible, is a good strategy for helping boost your SEO.
Yeah, because the the metrics that you're going to use to determine if you're succeeding, one of them is how long people are on and that they're not bouncing off, and what topics are getting the most looks. There's going to be, you're in any business, you can talk about a lot of different aspects of that business. And some aspects of that business people are going to care about, and some aspects they aren't. And there's no way you're going to know about that until you put it out there and see.
Right.
And that's when you find out what topics are getting the most looks. Well, then it's kind of like it ain't broke, don't fix it. So
yeah,
talk more about that.
yeah, whatever's working, keep working it. Cool. So, and then I think you brought up another good point, which is being consistent with producing high quality content, so that if people come to your site, they not only have newness and are getting fresh content, but in the contrary, if somebody lands on your website and they see, the last time they published something was 5 years ago, they're going to feel like, are these people even around? Do they care? Are they going to deliver a product when I order it? So just having that up-to-date content, even if you're not producing something new, just going back through your existing content, making sure that it's fresh and updated, will tell Google that you care about your site, and your visitors will get that impression that you care.
Yeah, because a website is not a one and done thing. And I liken social media to a movie trailer that has to be really good. And then if it's really good, a person will go, "Ooh, I want more." And so then they'll go to your website. And if they go to your website, it has to be wow. It really has to give them, it has to be the hell of a good movie. And movies are always telling a story, and they're always leaving you wanting more. So every single time a person comes to your website, you want to give them some really great information and leave them going, I bet you this person knows more. I want to go back there. And so you become the expert to that person. And that is the goal of SEO. And SEO is just the bot side of a great user experience.
Right.
The two of them are really the same thing.
Yeah. Anytime you're creating content, you got to be thinking the user first. Is this going to bring value to them? Are they going to appreciate this? Is it going to help them some way overcome a problem or entertain them? And then second, make sure you're creating content that the bots can easily scan and read and understand what it is through that technical side, which is adding keywords and semantic words that are related to that topic, and maybe doing internal linking to other resources so that the navigation is easy to use. That all definitely plays a role in both the technical side and the front end for the users. So one thing that we haven't touched on is local SEO. And a lot of my clients and new hemp companies that are just coming online are opening up storefronts, physical stores. Have you found that there's a difference between going after local SEO, search engine optimization, versus national SEO? And if so, what are kind of some of those differences?
I think local SEO requires a lot more nuance to what's going on in the area. And so an effective local SEO, first of all, requires a Google business profile. And a Google business profile has got to have images and every week on some kind of a little article about what's happening. And because people want to know, people are engaged in your success. Everybody really wants a new business to succeed. And so they want to know what's happening in your business. And I think most businesses just are kind of afraid to show what's happening in the back end. But man, if you show what's happening behind the back end, like we had to do all this and look at us and then we're sweating and we look crappy, but then you're going to see us looking nice in the front. People love to see that. And because it makes the customer part of the family.
Yeah.
And
Like the reality TV shows.
It's golden. It's golden. Yeah. If you are a business that's willing to show your ugly side, because every family has that.
Yep. Yeah, and that's what gets people's attention, and it also humanizes you to create more of a rapport and a connection with your audience.
Yes.
For sure. Well, I just have a couple last questions for you. I really appreciate you joining me on the podcast today. So when it comes to measuring and tracking and monitoring and knowing whether you're succeeding or not, obviously sales is the benchmark that we're looking for, but what other key metrics or KPIs should hemp companies or anybody that's wanting to get traffic to their website, what should they be tracking to measure the effectiveness of their SEO and if it's actually working?
I think engagement is primary. And then after that, it's how many people click from social media or GBP to your website. And then how many people click from your website to, if you have a shopping cart, to your shopping cart. And then how many people actually buy. Because you need to know where in the process your weakness is. And those are all key spots for me. But engagement is I think a primary metric besides
and what
sales.
are some of the, like if you were, let's say, to pull up a dashboard and say, okay, we want to look at our engagement today. What are some of those things that you would look at to determine, okay, like this channel seems pretty engaged, or this page, or this, aspect of our funnel has more engagement? Like what specific things would you look at? Is it actual clicks on a link, or how would you determine that?
Initial engagement is time spent.
And
it's, it's the difference between spending 2 to 3 minutes or seconds and bouncing. So you don't want those bounces. You want someone to read an entire long form article, and long form is becoming pretty effective these days. And then after that, it's the percentage of people that click versus that just read. What percentage are you getting there? Is it 2%? Is it 3%? Is it 12%? Is it 30%? If it's 12%, you're really doing quite well.
Yeah. So have, like, in other words, you have an ungated piece of content, like a blog post or an article of sorts, or even just a typical landing page that people might find through search. They land on that page, they start consuming, and then you have calls to action on that page to take them to the next step. And however many people click on that is your conversion rate, or that percentage of people that take that next step. So that would be a measurement of engagement.
Yes. Yep.
And then you just do that for each step of the funnel all the way until they become a buying customer. And then if they become a recurring customer, that would be the next phase of your sales funnel to determine, how can we maybe remarket to these people and determine how likely they are to come back, and then maybe even become some sort of ambassador and encourage them to go out and share your products or your message with the world, to get them to sort of be an ambassador of your brand. And then providing assets for each stage of that funnel is really what SEO is all about.
Yeah, because the sale doesn't end with the sale. Getting an ambassador is just an awesome thing to have happen for a business. And at that point, you're gonna give them a hat with your logo on it, or a t-shirt or something, so that they have, as long as they're going to be your ambassador, well, heck, make it really valuable. And that is, you can they always say, you have to give something to get something. And that is what marketing is. It's giving a lot of value and getting back in return. But really, you don't give with the intent you're going to get back.
Right.
You give with the intent that you're giving.
Mm-hmm. You genuinely want to help people do well, even with your free information, your education. The value that you can provide in advance puts this goodwill into the marketplace, and what you give comes back effortlessly. It's just the law of give and take, as they say, or karma, or whatever you want to phrase it with. And just having that mindset that you're doing it because you enjoy it, not because you're trying to get something. Because people do detect that. They can sense, oh, this person's just trying to get me to do something so they can take my money. And so I agree with that. Just being genuine, wanting to help people, they'll sense your genuine giving, and it will just come back. So that's awesome.
That's right.
So my last question here has to do with more of just a philosophical question. And that is, if you had the opportunity to speak to everybody on the planet, you're on the stage and everyone was listening to what you had to share, and you had 30 seconds to share one message, what would you want every human being on the planet to know?
I would want them to know that everything is interconnected, and what you do today, what you give today is valuable, and someone else is going to find something that they're going to give back to you. And in a wonderful world, there would probably be no poverty or illness, because we would all be helping each other. And that's really what marketing is all about. Marketing has gotten a bad name. It shouldn't have that bad name, because marketing is simply communicating that I got a solution to your problem.
Mm-hmm. I love it. So don't be afraid of marketing. Help your neighbor, be a giver. And if we work together, we can overcome some of the biggest challenges, especially as it relates to hunger and sickness and disease.
Yes.
So I agree. I love using marketing as my vehicle for creating that transformation, combined with the power of hemp. So it's fun to connect with the likes of yourself. And where can people learn more about you or hire you to help them with their marketing, or find you on the socials? Where are you hanging out these days?
Well, 3 Pillars Marketing. It's 3, the number 3, Pillars, PILLARS marketing.net. Or you can actually email me. And I am a Mish Farm gal, because I'm from Michigan and I live on a farm and I'm a gal. mishfarmgal@gmail.com.
Awesome. Well, thank you so much, Jackie. It was fun chatting with you. We love this topic of marketing and hemp and helping the world. So it's been a pleasure. Thank you, everyone, for tuning in to another hemp episode of HempAware Radio. If you have any ideas of what you want to hear next, just send us an email, support@hempaware.com. We'd love to hear your suggestions. Thanks again, everyone, for tuning in. We'll see you next time.